I believe that if we are honest with ourselves, that the most fascinating problem in the world is who am I? What do you mean? What do you feel when you say the word I myself?
I wanna fly the train! I don't give a fuck! Oh, jeez! Hey, what's going on, man?
¿Qué te piensas en for? You don't think it's what you think it is.
Oh, jeez! Hey, what's going on? I don't give a fuck! Oh, jeez! Hey, what's going on, man? You can't get out of it! Oh, jeez! Stop joining in, what's going on?
I think that I am familiar with the fact that you are going to ignore this particular problem until it swings up and bites you on the ass.
Psych, just kidding. My new catchphrase is, I don't give a fuck!
It's asking a lot to believe that the problem is going to fix itself.
Guess what, bitch?
Our technology and our numbers have both reached a state where inadvertently we can pose a danger to the global environment, especially through the atmosphere.
The whales have a 15-foot penis. Are you a pervert or something? Okay.
Now, nobody pretends we understand everything about the global climate.
I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself.
There are feedbacks, some of which you warm the earth a little bit, and the tendency will be to further increase the temperature, so-called positive feedback.
What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win. I don't give a
What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless engineer, and I critically analyze apologists' claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. Fucked up the beginning, but we're just rolling with it. So, tonight we're going to be looking at the evolution of the conspiracy surrounding the Blue Origin New Shepard rocket and William Shatner getting sent to space in the New Shepard rocket. So, if you want to fuck around and find out why flat earthers think that the rocket, the trip to space that William Shatner took is a total hoax, then please stay tuned. Second. All right. There we go. So just to let you guys know, to let everybody know that's watching, a portion of super chats and memberships, the Skeptic Mafia memberships, and any revenue that we make here helps us donate to charity. So a portion of all the proceeds are going to go to that. So if you want to do a super chat or whatnot, you know that at least a little bit of it is going to be going to a good cause. This month, I believe that it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we will be donating to a breast cancer charity. And Alex got us started off. Uh-oh. Yeah, crap. I don't think oh, nope. There we go. Hold on. All right. Sorry, I had the wrong audio input. I'm so sorry about that, Alex, that you didn't get to hear the pumpkin spice thing. But, huh? Yeah, it is the one that happened. But anyways, I just wanted to let everybody know that 90% of the alerts tonight are brand new. The one or two that are staples of the channel here will probably always be there, with the exception of the pumpkin spice one. But the rest of them are new. They're all Halloween themed, so we will be having these alerts for this week and next week. Of course, there's the going to hell ones that are at the $3.99 and $6.66 level. So if you want to go to hell, then you'll need to hit those super chats. But other than that, they're all new and Halloween themed. So feel free to send a super chat and see what in the crazy shit I say. There's a super special one at the $9.99 level.
You know,
Chimp from Kentucky.
Donating this much only makes me drink more.
And then Alex said, I hope the pumpkin spice thing pops up. If you're wondering today, this is Jack Daniel's Apple with Sprite. Sprite Zero. Always forget to say Sprite. Or Sprite Zero. All right, so y'all ready to get on into the first? Sorry, y'all couldn't hear me. Y'all ready to get into the first segment? You know what it is? Yes. Today I learned. Chimp. Let me see. I think I may need to reload the notifications. Hold on one second. Oh, did it?
Today I learned that atheists sacrifice babies on Halloween.
Okay, let me get resituated back here. So that's one of the special ones. Cadence hint, this space left intentionally blank. Thank you. So that's one of them. There's another one. So sorry, Elizabeth. That's one of the ones that's still the same. Mostly the new ones are at the $1.99, $4.99, and $9.99. Those are the three tiers at which the new ones pop up, because I feel like that's like I didn't want to push people to donate the bigger ones, but anyway, so sorry about that, Elizabeth. But Elizabeth said, "Ooh, what's this one? The goat show last week was amazing, by the way. Hope you all are doing well." Yeah, we're doing pretty good, you know. Just waiting for that Richard Carrier debate for next weekend. Really super excited about that. And we get the booster shots tomorrow, so that's good.
Oh, do y'all smell that candy corn?
Can you smell that candy corn? Anyways, so first up on Today I Learned.
Maybe I should go as a whale penis this year. I hear they're huge.
Daniel M says, David says, good night. We're on a trip to Branson. It really is God's asshole. Awesome. Nice trip to God's asshole. So anyways, tonight, we've got Today I Learned. The first one is a man named Donald Dean Stenger ran a nationwide $20 million meth empire in the 80s, and he escaped police in a high-speed...
I don't know what y'all have heard, but donating is not going to make me stop. Fuck me in the asshole.
JC Meister, that was a blooper. Yeah, sometimes I go into fuck me in the asshole, and so yeah, JZ Meister says, thank you for your content. It is both informative and always finds a way to bring some joy or humor to my day. So please take my money and do some horrible charitable things with it. Which interesting that he brings that up. I know I'm interrupting today, I learned, but we actually did make our charitable donation for September this past week, and that was to suicide prevention charity. I can't remember which. I posted it up on Twitter. Huh? American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. That's the one that we chose to donate to last month, and we'll be getting to figuring out one for this month. But thank you so much there, Jay-Z. All right, so first up on Today I Learned, like I didn't interrupt myself, a man named Donald Dean Stanger ran a nationwide $20 million meth empire in the 80s, escaping police in a high-speed police chase into the desert, rigging a briefcase with a hidden automatic firearm, owning several gold mines in Mexico, and dying when a balloon of meth exploded inside of him. Why is this not a fucking movie yet? Like, take all of the artistic liberties you need in order to make this movie. I would watch the shit out of this movie. An automatic firearm hidden in a briefcase? What is this, fucking Desperado? What the hell? Speaking of which, I cannot wait to play GTA Vice City Definitive Edition. That is going to be one of the best of the three, I have to say. And I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I loved Vice City. It was a fucking awesome game. I can't wait for it. Yeah. The graphics are updated and everything like that. I mean, I think that I feel like once it comes out in December, the definitive edition does. And so I think what I'll probably do is whenever I play the definitive edition, I want to stream it, because it's just, all three of them are just fucking awesome.
Donating this much money only secures your seat in hell.
Alex Baranowski says, I think Hollywood is a bit apprehensive about having more movies with fake guns right now. Yeah, maybe. But I mean, yeah, I mean, the most notable one that I can think of is Brendan Lee in The Crow. I don't think that they were all that gun shy after that, but I don't know, society might have changed by now. Probably, but it hasn't. Anyways, I want to see this movie, and it reminds me of fucking GTA. And like, the briefcase automatic weapon is like a special weapon that you get like near the end. I don't know. It sounds like an awesome fucking story to tell, and somebody needs to tell that story. And now for something gross. I know. Jason Kolasik.
You know, donating this much only makes me drink more.
That's a new one. It's an old one that I recorded, but it's still a new one. And I'm inaudible. Like, you just can't understand me. I'm incoherent. So it says, Borat going to play the lead in that movie? That would be hilarious right there. Seeing Borat with a suitcase machine gun, like mowing people down and shit, that would be crazy. Anyways, all right, now for something gross and in the spirit of the holiday season, Halloween, that is. Today I learned about angel lust, a post-mortem erection after a man dies from hanging. A number of Renaissance-era artists depicted Jesus Christ after the crucifixion with a post-mortem erection. The artwork was suppressed by the Catholic Church for centuries. Can you just imagine, like, the Catholic Church, like, commissioned an art piece, and the artist comes back and He's got Jesus up there hanging on the cross, and he's got like a raging boner. Because it's like, well, you know, physiologically speaking, this would have happened. Jesus would have had a hard on. And and the Catholic priest is like, well, I mean, no, we can't put this up. We can't be so explicit about hard-ons and boners in here, okay? Yeah, this is that's a good point. More professional point. This is another instance where we can't trust church history. Right. That's right, honey. Do you want to be mic'd? Okay. They suppress shit all the time. So it just must have been weird for the Catholic priest. I bet you it was a hard decision for them, pun intended. But anyways, it's kind of interesting. Another I read that particular post, and another quote unquote famous, I guess, instance of angel lust being mentioned like in popular media was in Goldeneye. The villainess, or one of the villainesses in there, was known for, you know, fucking and killing her victims, kind of like a Black Widow. And she had like, I guess she had like really strong thighs, like, you know, some of those people on the internet that can like squish a melon with a thigh. Well, she would do that, but with men's bodies, and she'd just crush them. And apparently at one point she was going to kill James Bond, and she was going to kill him in a way that would cause him to get that angel lust rock hard boner. And then I guess she was going to fuck herself with his dead body. And I don't know, it seemed weird. Anyways, next on Today I Learned. Enough of the dick talk. All right, next we have Today I Learned that Texas A&M University offers a class on Texas barbecue that teaches the history of barbecue, cooking methodology, flavorings and seasonings, and different types of barbecue.
Happy Halloween, y'all.
The class is offered in the fall and is held on Friday afternoons. We got Jason Kolsik with another super chat saying, a new form of mythicism. Did Jesus have a Woody? Got to exist first in order to have a Woody. All right. So that's kind of interesting. I never really expected there to be like a barbecue class, but Texas makes, I mean, a Texas university offering a barbecue class, that kind of makes sense, right? So, that's going to be it for Today I Learned today. Let me get, hold on. There we go. Okay. You know what's next? Yes, I still don't have an animation for it, but we got comments of the day. Prepare to face bump yourself in the next week. All right, so first up, this one kind of hits a little close to home. I have to say, we got to turn on our special background here. So, Governor Meemaw here in Alabama recently posted on her, I guess, is that like her, well, it's her Twitter, but it's not the official like Alabama governor Twitter. It's like her KIB4 governor Twitter that's also like checkmarked and everything like that. But she posted, we have permanently banned critical race theory in Alabama. We're focused on teaching our children how to read and write, not hate. So this is kind of interesting because, for one thing, I don't see critical race theory as teaching hate. I've heard today that apparently it causes you to be racist to teach critical race theory, and I just don't understand that like at all. I don't understand why people would think that, because thinking critically about race in America, especially in the fucking South, you would think that people would want to do that.
Atheists sacrifice babies on Halloween.
Oh shit, Gary White sacrifices babies. Shit, Gary White. Oh, Texas A&M isn't the only one that does that class. Penn State does have a class on ice cream. seems kind of weird. I can just imagine going into Baskin Robbins and being like, listen, did you go to Penn State and study ice cream? Well, then I don't want your shit, buddy. Anyways, so for one thing, to teach critically about racism in America does not promote racism or teach people to be racist. It's just being honest about our history. I feel like you got to be honest about your history and understand it in order for you to move past it and do better. But also, she says we're focused on teaching our children how to read and write, not hate. What is this a new initiative? Because right now Alabama sits at like number 48 for reading and 49 for math, and it's not better in the fucking other areas. So I maybe this is a new initiative, but like teaching critical race theory in social studies class, like while you're teaching the civil rights movement and everything like that, is not going to detract from reading and writing. At the point in which you would be teaching children about race in America and racism in America and the civil rights movement, they already know how to read and write, hopefully. So I don't understand the connection between these two, but I do have a very apt image to share here. And you'll understand why. Maybe not everybody, but I feel like maybe KC over there would understand. So this meme says, so the folks who tried to prevent a black girl from going to school in 1957 are opposed to their grandchildren learning about how they tried to prevent a black girl from going to school in 1957. And that pretty much sums up anybody that's like against teaching critical race theory. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be like older people that are opposing it or anything like that, but pretty much anybody that opposes teaching critically about race and racism in America, they're not wanting to teach children that we at one time were doing this shit. And I do believe that this right here is in Alabama. I don't know about this photo in particular. I think this one's in Alabama. Because they integrated, I believe, University of Alabama, and the governor showed up to stop kids from going to school. He showed up to prevent people from getting an education. They were so racist at that point that they didn't see anything wrong with preventing black people from attaining an education in a quote unquote white school or just a school in general. And so it just amazes me how far things, because Kay Ivey's old as fucking sin. This same situation happened in Alabama as well. This may not be that situation, but what's his fuckface? The governor back in the 50s and so. Fuck me. Anyways, the governor came and tried to stop them from integrating into the schools and everything like that. He fought really hard against integration. So it just amazes me that people like how Kay Ivey lived through this time period and now doesn't want people to know about, George Wallace. That's right. George Wallace. Kay Ivey lived through this time period, and now she doesn't want people to know what she and the people around her did at that time. So, I mean, it just kind of amazes me how ridiculous these people are. All right, on to some lighter topics here. We got Judgy Judgerton saying, funny. These things were debated with pretty much the same archival evidence for 1,650 years by scholars and historians and those with actual authority. Once it was chosen to put Luke in the Bible, no further debate needed. So this was actually on Trent Horn's Council of Trent channel, and this person was talking about how I'm opposed to Luke being a historical document. Obviously, I'm with the mainstream set of scholars that aren't, conservative dipshits. in New Testament studies who are bound by statements of faith. I'm with the rest of the crowd on this, so it's not like a fringe theory or anything like that to say that Luke is not a historical document, but these people want to hold on to their gospels and think that they are historical so bad that they'll deny actual history. And here's just a funny meme I figured I'd throw up. But you got Joseph here, and then Mary's explaining some shit, and it's just like, when you're trying to understand how your virgin wife is pregnant, and then 3 random ass dudes show up at the birth with gifts, I would question shit too. Like, let me do the math here. Something seems a bit fucky, Mary. All right. This one's interesting right here, I have to say. There's no such thing as a wet dream. That's a demonic cultural cover-up for a sex demon. You're fighting. Satan fights best in the dark. You can't win a battle you either don't know you're in or refuse to acknowledge. So, having saucy dreams now is a demonic, or portraying people as having, these wet dreams is a demonic cultural cover-up for sex demons. Sex demons? Like, I don't understand how people like take this shit seriously. Like, how do you seriously post on Facebook or any other kind of social media and you're like, the sex demons got me last night. I woke up and I had a hard on. It was that angel lust thing because I died in my dream. Hell. Oh shit. Daniel M's gonna burn a witch. Daniel says, getting ready to eat. I'll catch you all later. Try not to burn any witches on the way out there, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. But it's interesting to see how they portray these very basic issues that people have as being demonic. If it's ever bad, it's demonic. All right, let's see. And then finally tonight we have this dipshit. And I've seen a number of these signs and they're always hilarious. So let's get this straight now, okay? Here are the people who are not gonna enter heaven, okay? 1, liars. Y'all ain't fucking getting in. Greedy pigs. Y'all ain't getting in either. Pope. The Pope? The Pope's a direct line to God. Why in the fuck is he saying the Pope is atheist, of course? Secularists? Fuck them. Sports buff? What the fuck is wrong with sports now? Drew's book review says, don't know much about critical race theory. I do agree.
Maybe I should go as a whale painter this year. I hear they're huge.
Just as reservation school and First Nations history should be taught here, I am glad it is now. Wasn't when I was in school. I gotta tell you, I was taught about civil rights and everything like that, but I was not taught like the full scope of it or the effects afterwards, and how the United States legal system is now very biased against the Black Americans. Like, that's just simply not taught in schools, like, at all. All right. Honey, I don't know if you know this, but sports buffs are going directly to hell. People that are really into sports. I don't fucking... Apparently it's Revelation 21:27. Anyways. Potty mouths! Oh, shit, I'm fucked. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I gotta do this. Ah, shit! I'm fucked! LGBT supporters. Oh fuck, I'm doubly fucked now. I'm more than doubly fucked already. Contentious woman. Apparently a contentious woman. Well, just because it says woman, I mean, that I don't think you're contentious about anything. You're contentious when people take down your dog in Far Cry. Self-lover. Masturbators. Potheads. Muslims. Whores. Anytime I see a Christian say whore, like in any kind of way, I just think of them really accentuating like the whore. Like, I don't know why. Drunkard. Well, fuck. Sealed my fate right there. Porn lover. I don't think there's anything wrong with porn. Homosexual. Uh-oh. You may not fit into this one. Hardcore gamer. Casey said that if you fuck with my dog, you're gonna get it hard. I don't consider myself a hardcore gamer, but I mean I do play a lot of video games. Casey said Xander's fucked. Adulterer, gambler, Bible hater. Like, I don't know. I don't like the Bible, but I don't hate the Bible. Do you hate the Bible? Yeah, but does that constitute hate? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree. All right, well, that's going to be it for that tonight. Now, I didn't have anything prepared as far as Brocephus goes. I didn't have anything for him to really respond to or anything like that. I think, yeah, he was busy making all of the pop-ups. Jason Kolosik said wouldn't join. Oh, can you smell the pumpkin spice? Wouldn't join any place that would have me. Groucho Marx. So I don't have anything for Brocephus. I'm really sorry about that. Next Friday, though, I think I'll probably have him do some kind of like maybe sermon or something like that on Halloween and how it's horrible and all this other stuff. Jesus-ween? Well, maybe he can include that in his Halloween presentation, because I'm sure that he'd present Jesus-ween as like an alternative or something. Yeah. So next week it'll be a Brocephus will give us a little sermon on Halloween and Jesus-ween, and so sorry for those of you that look forward to his dumbass. But we do have a lot to get through tonight on the video, so I think that what we're going to do is go on ahead and jump on over to that. All right. There we go. I got to get my headset. Asexual Atheist says no blasphemers and murderers are okay. Oh, note. Yes. Maybe they just couldn't fit all of that on there. I don't know. Yeah, they didn't say anything about grapists either, so kind of curious. It's Bible people. Cadence also a little bit ago sent her milestone chat saying, I bet they leave out that barbecue was initially a slave food before it was whitewashed. I actually didn't know that. That would have been interesting to know. Let's see. Alex earlier said GE should visit CO if he likes beer so much. There are so many breweries. I do like beer, although I do have to sort of taper it a little bit because you know, I got the beatus, so I can't really drink like I used to. That's why I drink a lot of liquor, because there's not really a lot of sugar in liquor for the most part. Jester, Lord of Fools, says it is not contentious to avenge Boomer. Boomer is a good boy, and anyone who goes against him deserve everything that's coming to him. Casey said death. Death. Apparently, she will boom anybody's asshole that gets in the way of her dog. All right, so like I said, the supercut that I did of his videos, this is Jake the Asshole, by the way. He did 3 videos on it where his conspiracy kind of evolved from one thing to another. It's always been fake, but he's gonna kind of explain his thought process here, and we're gonna analyze it. So I hope that you enjoy this dipshittery tonight.
What up, y'all? It's your boy, and I'm back again. And today we got a doozy for you, my friend.
I just want to start out with something nice, and that's I like the filter that he has. I mean, it looks really cool, and I'm not exactly sure what filter he's using, but I mean, it looks all right. Like, it looks pretty cool.
It seems Blue Origin is back at it, except last time they did not get the desired results that they were after. It seems Jeff Bezos and his crew of flunkies didn't quite do a good enough job of fake spacing it. Oh, excuse me, space faking it.
What's the difference between the two? Like, he corrects himself like he misspoke it, but like space faking it and fake spacing it, I don't understand what the difference between the two would be. They ultimately result in the idea that space is fake. So I don't understand. I don't understand what the difference is. I think I need to mic you for this.
We got a new member.
Oh shit! Satan's little helper. I mean, you have a lot of opinions.
What you knew about
me? I did, but also if you're gonna be interjecting, people are gonna want to hear what they say, what you saying, and I don't want the blame to come to me.
All I said was he's putting too much thought into it because this guy is a dumbass.
Yeah, yes, hon. He's a dumbass.
So, this time they enlisted the services of a professional actor, the one and only William Shatner, who is a professional space faker, I might add. He's been faking space ever since the fake dinosaurs roamed the fake planet.
So, I mean, it's a little... It's, you know, he's throwing in fake dinosaurs and then roamed the fake planet. I don't know if he's just throwing it in like it's the word fuck or something, like fucking dinosaurs roaming the fucking planet, you know, kind of thing. I don't know if he's doing that or if he thinks that Earth is fake now or just dinosaurs are fake, but in any case, it's a TV show.
Well, so he put up an image of the crew, so maybe he's saying dinosaurs in a like old people kind of way. Oh, no?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
no.
Because I was thinking maybe he was like dinosaurs is an old people kind of way, and fake planet like it's a TV show, so whatever planet they're pretending to be on is fake. But yeah, it's a sci-fi show. It's not.
I mean, he is saying that Shatner's old, but he's also well, he's saying in there fake dinosaurs because he's one of those people that doesn't believe that dinosaurs roam the earth.
He really thinks that?
He thinks that they never existed. Yeah.
I feel like he's a dumbass.
Yeah.
Where's the ding dings? We have the
ding dings. I don't have any dingers. Honey.
Fucking idiots.
Fucking idiot. Satan's Little Heifer says you're getting supported by Satan now.
You know, donating this much only makes me drink more.
I feel like at that point I had too much to drink. Maybe. But in any case, he's saying that Shatner's old, dinosaurs never existed, and he's apparently shaming Shatner for being part of the original Star Trek crew. Which, I mean, it was a TV show. So
they never presented any of that as if it was real.
Well, true. And it's kind of amazing because, let's see, when did...
I don't know what y'all have heard, but donating is not going to make me stop. Fuck me in the asshole.
No, Alex, but birds shouldn't be real.
Let's see, when did the original Star Trek air? The original Star Trek aired in 1966. And I think it only went on for maybe a couple of years. Like the original
the original series is only I don't know, is it 3 seasons or 2?
Mm-hmm.
It's not, is it 3? Or 2?
I don't know. It aired from 66 to 69, and actually it stopped airing. It stopped airing right before we landed on the moon.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind about this, because he also thinks that the lunar module is not real. That, like, we never landed on the moon, because obviously space is
I see
fake.
his shirt.
Yes. So he thinks that that's not real. Now, if you think about the original Star Trek and how bad, like, all the graphics were and everything like that,
it was terrible.
He thinks that we had the technology to fake the moon landing.
You know, this is super weird because we had the technology to go to the moon, but not the technology to fake it.
Yeah.
That's the fucking weird part. I mean, not fake it well.
No. But I mean, to present Star Trek as somehow faking space, like in the way that he's in the context that he's putting it in here, very disingenuous. So we had Alex Baranowski who says, so since birds are dinosaurs, are the people who don't think birds are real the same as the people who don't think dinosaurs existed? I don't know. I feel like those are two very specific things, because I think that they can deny the lineage of birds, but also believe that dinosaurs, but also believe that dinosaurs like existed. So I think that those are two separate claims.
What about when you get the cross track of birds and dinosaurs and you get fucking Civil War pterodactyls?
Civil War pterodactyls. Fucking Matt Powell. Just don't ever talk to Kent's friend Steve if you ever go to Dinosaur Adventureland.
Oh, I do my best to stay away from people named Steve.
All right, let's see what else he's got to say.
So he is the perfect actor if you want to hire someone to pretend to go to space. So this time around, Jeff Bezos and his crew of flunkies and William Shatner take off in their penis-shaped rocket, and they go to space once more. Except this time, things are different. They didn't bring Skittles to throw in each other's mouths. Oh no. This time, they actually care what's out the windows. In fact, I'm gonna stop talking about it and have you watch it. Check it out. Oh.
Okay, so he plays like the supercut of the launch and everything like that, you know, pretty much takes place over about 5 minutes or so.
I have to give it to, what's this stupid ass's name?
Jake the asshole.
So I have to give it to Jake, though. That is a dumbass shape for a rocket. Like, I know all rockets are kind of, you know, they're cylindrical, but, well, not all rockets, but like this type particular style. But this is just terrible.
Well, I mean, granted, I agree that it looks kind of phallic shaped.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. You're like the guy who sees and hears and reads dick into everything. And like this kind of looks like a dick. John, look at it.
I mean, if it had 2 cylindrical balls next to it, I would have to agree.
Nobody said it looked like a package. He said it looked like a dick.
Well, yeah, but I mean, come on. In some sense, you can say that the Saturn V rocket looks like an uncircumcised penis.
Well, I said they all kind of look that way, but this one especially with like the rounded top. Come on.
Well,
this is terrible. Jeff knew what he was doing.
Yeah, okay. But regardless of how it's shaped, I don't know. He goes into this 5-minute long supercut of it, and he basically shows what was on. It looks like this one's CBS. I think that he also shows some CNN maybe footage or something like that. Anyways, he has a supercut of it from a news network. And he doesn't show like the live video feed or anything like that. So that's gonna bite him in his ass here.
Yeah, this is CBS.
Yeah, this is CBS, but he has other things in there. I don't know if it's CBS the entire time.
Oh.
All right, folks, let's break down this space fakery one clip at a time. So the first part of the space fakery goes like this. Show video clip of rocket taking off. Then cut to the crew inside of said rocket ship as they begin to float. Now, just because you have a clip of a rocket and then a clip of some people floating does not mean the two are taking place on the same rocket ship.
I can see his hang up here, but the problem is that he's looking at supercuts of the flight. They actually have full unedited video footage of the rocket taking off, but not just of the rocket taking off, but you've got Shatner riding in the car with his crewmates. I think it was a caravan of like maybe 2 or 3 cars. Anyways, they rode in and, they took a picture in front of it and everything like that. They boarded it. There's cameras all over the place.
The Bible says that witches should die and burn in hell.
It does say that.
I Heart Dog says, of course it's a phallic shape. It's Jeff Bezos.
Right?
His head is a dick.
A giant dick who needs to ride a giant dick into space.
Exactly.
Perfect.
But he's neglecting this fact that we have this unedited footage. And
he's fucking right off the planet. Did it.
Let me I meant to have this queued up, but let's see. I think this is it right here. Okay. 1 second. I'm getting it pulled up for y'all. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to mute it because I don't know about the copyright status of the music that they used in it. Is it gonna show?
Well, the Bible says that witches should die and burn in hell.
Let's see. First super chats, Jonathan Hanachek. He used his milestone membership of 33 months to say GE can get Brocephus to say the crowd respect my authority. And remember, Miss Chloe is almost always right. Almost always. Thank you. Thank you. A generic shill here. Yeah, y'all should join the Skeptic Mafia. Please do. And I'll get Brocephus closer to the end to do it, but not right now. Stagnu Demort says, should I seek medical attention if my man parts do not look like a rocket? If you don't have a rocket in your pocket, then I'm sorry. Okay, so just to recap here, Jake the asshole is concerned that the rocket that he sees left off is not the cabin footage is not the same capsule or the same crew that is on the rocket that's lifting off. And he downplays this. He does it a little bit more in a childish way here in a second. But I did want to play you guys this video. As you can see, you've got Bezos and Shatner, everybody out there doing all that stuff. You get a shot from the outside, and you see the people that are in the rocket right now. And now what you're seeing is Shatner walking into the rocket and getting into the capsule.
He's walking into the tip.
Right. He's getting into the tip.
We're
That little
playing
reservoir.
Just the tip.
Just the tip. But anyways, here's Shatner getting into the rocket and everything like that. Now, this is a pretty bare bones like setup that they have like to for these rockets, you know, sit on. You can see there's no way that Shatner can get out of this. There's cameras on all of this entire situation. There's cameras constantly rolling and looking. So, I mean, there's no way that you can escape it, right? Sure, they have parts where they cut away, but that's just changing angles. It's all still the same. You can see them right there in the tip, just the tip.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so they're in the rocket and everything like that, and then later on, let's see when it gets closer. See, there's cameras on it the entire time. Entire time, and then yep, see, there it goes. It lifts off right here. Ooh. Thrusting into space.
This
fucking
giant
that big sky with his giant space penis. All right, Bezos fucked the sky a second time. Got it. So anyways, that there was cameras on it the entire time. There was no way that Shatner could leave. He's seen in the capsule, like before it lifts off, they're in the capsule. So there's no reason to think, you know, that Shatner, or that this crew is somehow somewhere different.
Yeah, he just, when he got in, he was like energized. And it sent him to the other capsule, the fake one.
See, here's the weird thing. There's cameras on it the entire time. So if he did energize, you would see that light of the energization process.
Well, it depends. It looks different in different, you know, in different shows. It looks a little bit different.
Oh, you think they could have had like?
They could have toned down the sparkliness.
Yeah,
they could have. You don't know.
Well, trust me, he thinks a lot of crazy shit. So let's hear him present his case for this being fake.
Great.
How are we to know that clip of the crew floating is indeed taking place on that same rocket ship which they showed us a clip of a rocket ship taking off? How do we know the two things are the same thing?
Because there's continuous footage of them getting into the rocket, never leaving, and then the rocket lifting off.
How do you know how to tie your shoes before you leave the house?
How do you remember to breathe in the morning, motherfucker? Satan's little helper. Oh, can you smell the pumpkin spice?
Maybe I should go as a whale penis this year. I hear they're huge.
Satan's little helper says, "Hi from hell. I am so glad I am part of the Skeptic Mafia now." Me too. There's Satan's little helper. So happy. Jester, Lord of Fools, says, "Behold Shatner holding himself down. No reason for this post, of course."
We don't. That's left for us to assume. In fact, I can show you a rocket taking off and then show you the crew of Star Trek, but that doesn't mean that the crew of Star Trek was in said rocket.
So this is quite ridiculous because this is not the same as showing the inside of the capsule, like just showing a picture of the crew. Like, these are not comparable things. This is quite illogical. It's a non sequitur.
So, I like to take the two pieces of footage and analyze them separately. So as I
analyze,
analyze, which really just means watching it 5 to 20 times like in
He
a
can't
row.
analyze wiping his own ass. Fuck this guy.
I examine and analyze the footage from inside the rocket, I see exactly what I saw in the last Blue Origin fake space video. I see people floating around, having the sensation of weightlessness because they are in a vomit comet. A traditional vomit comet airplane doing parabolic maneuvers will give you everything that you see happening on the screen.
Now, so his initial survey of the footage is that they're in a vomit comet, and that's what's giving them this sort of sense. I'm guessing that there's a capsule inside the vomit comet, and they're doing these parabolic moves. So let's see, how long weightless last in a vomit?
Isn't it like a minute?
Approximately 25 seconds of complete weightlessness.
Okay.
Passengers who experience a simulation of Martian gravity last about 30 seconds, while those simulating lunar gravity about a 6 will last 40 seconds. So there's different ways in which you can simulate the different forms of gravity. But complete weightlessness is about 25 seconds. Just to compare this to the Blue Origin, I guess, travel plans. Oh, can you smell the pumpkin spice? So just to compare it, the Vomit Comet has 25 seconds of weightlessness, but the Blue Origin capsule experiences just over 4 minutes of weightlessness. There's no way that you can do those parabolic maneuvers like that and get 4 minutes of continued weightlessness, right? That's not how it works. So it makes no sense to say that this is a vomit comet in any kind of way, other than I guess he would think that, oh, they cut up the footage, and so they only showed 25 seconds at a time, and so they captured these moments like while they were doing the parabolic maneuvers. But the flight plan of the New Shepard rocket, and I guess whatever kind of tourist thing, like hyper rich tourist thing, that you could have with this whole Blue Origin deal, it would be 4 full minutes of weightlessness. And I mean, essentially it's a much more expensive version of the Vomit Comet, I guess. Whereas the Vomit Comet would stay up in the air and do continuous parabolic maneuvers to give you a lot of weightlessness time. This is just one shot rocket up, 4 minutes of pure weightlessness, and then it comes right back down. So it's instead of multiple parabolic maneuvers, it's just sort of one. So
in fact, there's a lot less footage this time around, which suggests to me that Shatner didn't feel like doing a whole lot of parabolic maneuvers. Also, it appears Shatner doesn't do much floating in any of these video clips, so it's as if they strapped him down and then let the younger chaps do all the floating and the flipping.
He's 95.
Right.
I mean, for God's sake, like...
also, it's got to be very, very disorienting to be weightless. Like after being not weightless for 90 years or so, I bet you it's very disorienting to be weightless.
I mean, it's probably disorienting for everyone.
That's my point.
Yeah. So like, I get really nauseated on roller coasters when you first start going down the hill, because I don't know. I hate that feeling. Hate it. I would hate this.
Yeah.
It's a terrible, I don't know. I think it's a terrible feeling.
Well, yeah, because basically what the rocket does is it shoots you up about 61 miles above the surface of the Earth, and then you get into a free fall for 4 minutes right on the edge of space. It's far enough to be considered in space so that, you're technically an astronaut at that point. But it free falls, and then it hits a certain point and it starts to descend a lot faster.
Okay, my mistake. William Shatner is 90 years old, but I mean,
90.
once you're 90, you might as well be 95. At least I didn't say he was 172, which is about what he looks like.
Right. And going back to Jester Lord of Fools that says, behold Shatner holding himself down, no reason for this post, of course. You
already read that one.
Yeah, well, I know. I'm going back to it because he just mentioned how Shatner seems to be strapped down or something like that. He's obviously holding himself down. Then we got Dave Lee who says, welcome to Blue Origins. Please secure your diaper in case you Shatner yourself during the flight.
Also, you will be glad to know they took our advice. People were saying, why don't they look out the window? The last Blue Origin space flight had a bunch of people playing with Skittles. They were acting like children. They didn't seem to give a hot damn about what was out the window.
Okay, I don't see. This is the kind of narcissism that a lot of flat earthers have, it seems, because it wasn't about you. Okay, there, Jake. I don't know if he's actually watching this or not, but Jake, it is not about you. Okay, it's not about the flat earthers. I can assure you that Jeff Bezos does not give a rat's ass about flat earthers or what people are saying on the internet, because just like we've all pointed out here, it looks like a big penis. You think Jeff Bezos looked at that, saw that it would look like a big penis, and he was like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm paying for this shit. I'm still a billionaire. But it's not about any flat earther in particular. And the reason why Shatner's looking out the window is because he's just in awe of the sight. We got Little Cedar using their milestone super chat saying the Bible demonstrates Jesus isn't God in Mark. A little off topic, but thank you there, Little Cedar.
So this time they made sure to make a big deal about what's out the window. In fact, they enlisted the services of professional actor William Shatner to specifically stare out the window and then be moved to tears. This is professional level Hollywood pedigree acting. You have William
I don't think that he was acting about being emotional. I think that he truly was emotional about it.
I mean, so I really do think it's funny that Jake thinks that these people were watching flat earthers and taking their advice on how to do it better. Like, you're not that important. Also, William Shatner's not really a good actor, so he would not be who I would hire to convince anybody of anything.
I mean, he was good in Miss Congeniality.
I mean, so the acting in Miss Congeniality, it's hard because there are actors.
I picked a movie that it's hard for her to say shit about.
There are actors that do acting, and there are actors that basically play themselves and are different, like, people and have lines. You know what I mean?
Will Smith.
Well, yeah, kind of. Like Ryan Reynolds. Like, I love Ryan Reynolds. Don't get me wrong, I love Ryan Reynolds, but Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. Sandra Bullock is Sandra Bullock. Like, they're the same person. It's not somebody like, I don't know, Johnny Depp. You know what I mean? Who plays, or Leonardo DiCaprio, people who play like, or Tom Hanks, play very different roles. And so, you know, Shatner was he just fucking showed up and had lines. Like, come on.
Okay. But basically, Jake wouldn't. Oh, can you smell the pumpkin spice? So, Jake, the assumption here, or the insinuation that Jake makes, is that he wouldn't be moved by this sight. Like, he wouldn't be emotional about seeing the immense size of the Earth being 61 miles above it. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't see the beauty in it. And so therefore, that means that other people also wouldn't see the beauty or be moved or anything like that. Classic narcissistic personality disorder trait.
I think Jake would be surprised at what he might think or feel if he was in this situation.
I don't think he thinks or feels much.
I'm just like, like, I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things. He hasn't experienced it. So if he's just like, I wouldn't give a shit, I'm not sure that that's actually true. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Because it kind of involuntarily things are put into perspective in a way that's very unusual in a situation like this. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
I feel like I don't trust that he can just say, I wouldn't feel anything. I mean, I think he probably would. I think most people probably would.
Well, he did describe the haziness of like the fringe of the atmosphere that you see, like in the little shots from the windows that you can see from the inside cameras. He calls that shit.
Huh?
Well, he calls it white shit. Like, I think I cut that out, but in the original video, he says that all like the fuzzy, because you got that haze coming off of the earth,
Right.
where the atmosphere is starting to thin and thin and thin.
Mm-hmm.
He calls that he says it just looks like shit. And so my guess is that he really wouldn't be all that amazed by it.
But they're childish for. See, here's the thing. He's being his channel name is Jake the Asshole. He makes money off of being an asshole. So he says things that make him come off like an asshole. And so my guess is I want to say that there's more to Jake than Jake lets on YouTube, but I don't know. One would hope. One would hope.
I think that he goes on to describe it a little bit more in detail, but we do have Cadence saying he has, quote unquote, or seen William Shatner act. He's the epitome of bad overacting.
It's terrible.
That would be the worst choice for convincing fakery. The entire reason why Shatner got sent up there is because he's Captain Kirk.
Exactly. And that's why it was so cool. Like, I was so excited when I found out they were doing this because, Captain Kirk is going to space, like, really. And it was just, I don't know. I think it's very cool. I mean, if I was hiring an actor to act, I wouldn't hire him.
Yeah.
For convincing, but I was very excited about the fact that he was getting to go to space.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I have a comm badge tattooed on my body. Yes, I was very excited about Shatner going to space.
I know, hon.
Chatty, being reduced to tears. He's gonna cry because what he sees out the window is just so beautiful. Oh my heavens, it's unbelievable. It's so unbelievable. It's so beautiful. I'm just gonna cry like a baby. Wah, it's so beautiful. I just can't help myself but to cry. Wah.
Have you ever wanted to shove like a blunt object straight up someone's ass?
Like the Blue Origin rocket?
Yes, that would be a great tool.
So this is just an example of how childish Jake the Asshole is. And I feel like this is probably a product of his narcissism, having, that particular personality disorder. Because it's very obvious that Jake has that disorder. He's also got Dunning-Kruger coming out of his ass. But in any case, I feel like that's the level of the playing field that we're on when we're reviewing this kind of video. A lot of flat earthers are like this. They're narcissists and they just act this way. I guess to say Jake the Asshole is the quintessential flat earther and could be used as an example of most flat earthers out there.
I just don't like him.
These people aren't seeing the ball, Earth, and outer space as a whole ball.
Well, no, they're not, but you could definitely see the curve. Like, even in this picture right here between the two windows, you can tell that that's a curve. Like, they're slight angles, but you can tell that there's angles there.
I mean, you'd have to be further away. Like,
well, yeah, that's what he wants.
See.
But
he thinks the pictures we have from the moon are fake, but that's what you see.
Well, you see, he needs to be the one to go up there and see the complete ball.
Well,
Earth,
you
but
know
even-
what? I hope he dies unsatisfied. Like, I mean, I don't hope he dies today. I'm just saying eventually when he dies, I hope he dies unsatisfied, never having gone to space, because he shouldn't get the privilege of going to space because he's a stupid ass. Sorry, I really dislike this. Maybe I should not be on the mic.
Okay. If you're not going to be on the mic, then you can't add your 2 cents in.
What? This is not fair. This is bullshit.
Okay. I'm just saying.
No, they're just looking out the window, and it looks like they're just looking at the horizon. It looks like it's kind of white and fuzzy. Have you ever been up in an airplane and it's cloudy, and then you look down and there's not much to see, and it's just kind of white and hazy and boring? That's exactly what it looks like they're looking at to me. In fact, it would be worse the higher you get. The only way it should be so beautiful.
Wait. How could he know that it would get worse the higher you get? First of all, you're not seeing it firsthand. I mean, looking like through a camera that's being streamed to the earth, or be at least maybe not streamed to the earth. Maybe it's being recorded on there, and you know, they have this after they got back, obviously. But maybe I mean, it's very different from seeing it through a camera, through a window, and having all that fuzzy shit back there, versus being there in the capsule and looking at it. Like, I really think that he's just talking out of his ass when he says, it would be more beautiful if blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, it's beautiful where they're at, obviously. At least to some, because beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's, you know, subjective. So obviously it's beautiful, definitely to William Shatner. And I think that's all that matters, is that it's beautiful to him. Why does it have to be beautiful to Jake the asshole?
Because it's all about his satisfaction.
Obviously.
And move you to tears is if you see the whole ball Earth. My question then becomes, why didn't the first crew give a hot damn about looking at the window? But this second crew, they're all looking out the window and crying.
Okay, good question there, Jake. Well, good question. For a flat earther, I'm glad that you asked that question. So there's this effect in groups of people where you have one person that starts doing one thing and then other people start to do it. That's especially true when you have somebody that's like of importance. They start doing something and then other people feel like they should start doing something. So you have this sort of ripple effect. William Shatner, Captain Kirk, is up there amazed, looking out of the window, looking down at the earth. And so other people look out of the window and look at the earth. On the first flight, they weren't really concerned about looking out the window. They were concerned about the weightlessness. They were, I guess they just wanted to throw
just
candy
a little
at each
bit
other.
of money.
Got a little bit of money there, hun.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Victor says Shatner missed a great opportunity there. After looking out, he should have turned and shouted, "There's a man out there!"
That would have been funny.
That would have been good. Okay, so sorry. Now it's going to evolve a little bit. And by evolve, I don't mean get better. I just mean that it's changing. He's going to change how he sees this entire situation. And his whole conspiracy theory is just going to get even wilder. We got Jason Kolosik saying,
I don't know what y'all have heard, but donating is not going to make me stop. Fuck me in the asshole.
all this talk about being an asshole. Ever hear Dennis Leary's version of "I'm an asshole"? Olio. I have. Does YouTube censor these? Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't have any control over it. I would let super chats say whatever in the fuck. Well, mostly whatever in the fuck they wanted. But I don't control the super chats. I'm guessing it's because it's paid shit that, you know, people or that YouTube censors it. But in any case, so his whole view of it is going to change. In case you don't remember, it originally started as, oh, this is a vomit comment that they're on, and that's how they're experiencing weightlessness, and that's all this is. Now it's going to change a little bit, and it's going to get even crazier.
Hello and welcome to the ultimate Blue Origin and William Shatner debunk video. This is the #1 best, most awesome debunk video you will ever see, bar none. Are you ready? Here we go.
I love the amount of dick sucking that he does at the very beginning. And it's like, it's his own dick that he's sucking.
No.
No. No. It's amazing. Now, I know that he was doing that to be funny or whatever, but still, starting off your video, like even artificially sucking your own dick, I think is just in poor taste.
Take a look to your right. Let's see it again. Now, really, really slow. Pay very close attention to what you are seeing.
So it's very smart of him to start speaking like really slow like that because of the audience that he's speaking to.
Also, that's about how fast his brain moves.
True. That's how fast his brain moves.
Now ask yourself, is that augmented virtual reality, such as an object that only exists in virtual reality?
So he takes, so this video has been compressed, you know, it's not like a raw feed, but also, I mean, these aren't exactly like high def cameras that are in the capsule or anything. I mean, these are compression things that are happening. When he sees the object traverse past the window, he's taking the difference in lighting and the compression and all that, and he's making it seem like it's like skipping frames and it's augmented reality. And I don't know why they would do that. Like, maybe he'll show it in a clip, but you see the same object being played with by another astronaut on the other side of Shatner. You see them take the thing out, and then the thing flies past here. But he's using these compression, not glitches, but these compression artifacts in the video feed in order to suggest that it's augmented reality.
Or is that just a natural floating object in outer space?
So let me get this straight.
Oh, do y'all smell that candy corn?
I Heart Dog says looks like a potato chip to me. It does. I think that it's a small like figure, like a little action figure or something like that. I think that's what it is, but it really doesn't matter what it is. In any case, so our options are either this is a naturally floating object or augmented reality to keep up the appearance that they're on the edge of space. I feel like one is way more plausible than the other. Especially considering all of the background knowledge that we have about this flight leading up to this point, being that Shatner boarded the ship. Shatner stayed in the capsule. When the ship lifted off, nobody exited the capsule or anything like that. Shatner was still on it, and the entire crew was still on it. And now they're free falling, you know, from 61 miles up in space or above the Earth. So it's like natural explanation or augmented reality. I feel like one is way more plausible than the other, and it's the natural, like naturally floating object.
Yeah, but that one doesn't comport with his narrative. So.
Right. It doesn't comport with his narrative, so it's obviously false. It can't be that because he doesn't want it to be that.
Totally not glitching, totally not losing any frames. Or what?
or or what?
Or it's an object fucking floating around. Like, I don't.
It's an object that is floating inside the capsule.
This seems like a lot. Like, I don't.
It is very convoluted because before, if you remember, it was parabolic maneuvers, and now he doesn't say anything about like how other people are floating, but now this particular part is just augmented reality. Why would they need to use augmented reality if they were doing parabolic maneuvers and creating the sensation of weightlessness?
Yeah, I mean, if they were in a vomit comet, right? They wouldn't need it wouldn't be augmented reality.
I don't think so.
So it's got to be the first one he said or the second one he said, but it's not both things he said.
It would be really pointless to do augmented reality.
What is it? All right, now let's take a look at the landing. Wow, look at that impact.
Okay, yeah. So, in case you guys don't know about the finer points of how the capsule lands, basically when the capsule re-enters the atmosphere, once it gets past the outer part of the atmosphere, it deploys a couple of chutes, a couple of them that slow it down, and then it deploys another set of 3 bigger ones that slow it down even further. And then by the time it gets to this point, it's slowed down to about 15 miles an hour. And then when it goes to land, it actually shoots out, like it does sort of like those compressed air thrusters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that helps soften it.
They're like they're like reverse thrusters,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like reverse thrusters, but they're the air,
right?
That they use in space in order to correct trajectories.
It's just
and
compressed
stuff.
air,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So they do that, and that's what the big dust cloud is about. And then also inside the capsule, the seats are really it described them as like a scissor-like sort of spring system that even further dampened like them landing,
like shocks.
Yeah, like shocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't think of the word. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So anyways, that's how the capsule lands, and how it's a somewhat comfortable landing. Even if it looks like it explodes when it hits the ground.
I mean, it does look very dramatic. I'll give it to him. It looks very dramatic, but like all you have to do is look into some basic shit, and then you know how it works. Like, it's not that hard.
Right. Oh, and also the New Shepard rocket. I don't know if you guys know this, but they actually named the Jeff Bezos' company, Blue Origin, named this rocket New Shepard after Alan Shepard.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
First astronaut into space. So that was interesting.
That's quite an impact for a 90-year-old man to take out in the middle of nowhere. And they just so happen to have a crew out in the middle of the desert where this thing was going to basically crash land.
Crash landing, for God's sake. It's clearly a controlled landing.
Yeah. Also, I do want to, I don't like speaking ill of the dead, but he's about to be very disrespectful to somebody in his own crowd here in a minute. But, yeah, I don't know if he knows this, but you can predict where like the capsule's going to land. I mean, it's really just basic mathematics.
They plan everything.
Oh yeah.
Everything is planned. They know their trajectory. They know where it's going to land.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they do all this shit on purpose. It's a very complicated mission plan.
Right. And they do know, like, they don't know, they probably know where he's going to land within, like, I don't know, maybe like a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's probably about a mile in which they can land in, like a circular radius mile.
Yes. It's like, it's a window, basically.
Right.
They've got a landing window.
Right. And they know that they're going to land there.
But they've been doing that forever.
Right. If you watched Hidden Figures is a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch that, they actually had the, they called them computers back in the day, but it was women that did math. Mathematicians, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Mathematicians that did exceptional with the math. And they always had like an area in which they would land in, and unless they can guarantee like a small enough area in which they could land, like they would have to push the launch.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very important to get the numbers right. So they knew where they were going to land at, you know, down to, you know, between a mile to 5 miles maybe. But in any case, so that explains that. It's not really anything magical or present like Hollywood about knowing where it's going to land. It's just basic math.
Seems to me if one or two of those chutes wouldn't have opened properly, or if those chutes were to get tangled together, that metal tin can capsule could have easily smashed down and killed the entire crew inside. Kind of like what happened to Mad Mike.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, that could happen.
Yeah. I don't know why you had to disparage Mad Mike like that.
I mean, it's also not at all like what happened to Mad Mike.
No, Mad Mike, not to portray him in a bad light after he's dead, but I mean, he built a rocket out of a hot water heater he found on Craigslist.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't that bright. He did some really stupid shit, and doing that stupid shit killed him.
Right. And yes, there is risk in the parachutes, you know, getting tangled and everything like that. But that's why they you know, test the systems as much as they do. I mean, it's not like they just threw some fucking parachutes on this motherfucker and then just, you know, was like crossing their fingers hoping that it didn't fuck up. I mean,
it is possible that something malfunctions and, you know, they don't work, or one of them doesn't work, or two of them don't. Like, it's possible. But yeah. I mean, and yeah, if two of them don't go up, I mean, generally they have redundancy systems, but if two of them didn't go up, yeah, I mean, it would crash and people would probably die. People have died in the space program since the beginning of it.
Right.
Accidents happen.
Right. So now we have the complete. So now we have a fully fleshed out conspiracy theory that he's about to go through. We're not going to rehash everything that we've already said, but he does present different information in this, and he's kind of fully fleshed out what he thinks is happening.
And I've noticed some things that I didn't notice the first time around or the second time around, and I have discovered new evidence that I want to present to you guys. I have also changed my mind on how I think this whole fake space mission was done. The first Blue Origin space mission that they did a couple months ago, I think they used a traditional vomit comet and parabolic maneuvers.
Now, we've already, I know I said I wasn't going to rehash, but we know that couldn't have been the situation, because the flight plan of a Blue Origin flight is to shoot up, fuck the sky, fall for 4 minutes, and then return to Earth. So it could not be a vomit comet situation.
Now, this time around, I originally thought they were doing the same thing with William Shatner. However, the more I watched the video, the more it appears that they were in a stage on the ground,
donating this
and
much
they never
money
even
only
went.
secures your seat in hell.
Alex said, "Can we please stop saying it's not that hard during a video where people are talking about dick-shaped rockets?" No! We're going to continue to make hard dick references and puns and everything like that. I mean,
I do have to comment though. You're like, it's basic math. It's hardly basic.
I mean, it like the parabolic nature of it and everything like that. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's basic to me, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't be so subjective about it, but for in the context in which people are working in, this is basic shit to them. Is that better?
I mean, I guess.
Up in a plane or did any parabolic maneuvers. It appears everything that we're seeing in this new video is totally done with green screen, harness, and just a stage on the ground. And also,
he's going to get into why he thinks these things, but I like how it's went from Vomit Comet to stage on the ground. Also, why is it that they would invest, like if they could do it on a stage on the ground, why would Jeff Bezos invest in a Vomit Comet production when he could have just had them on the ground?
I mean, nobody can really explain Jeff Bezos and why he does or doesn't do certain things.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, like just based on who Jeff Bezos is, because it's not like after the first one he was running out of money, so he had to,
an emotional support yacht doesn't make sense to me either, but here we are.
Yeah, if y'all don't know, Jeff Bezos is currently building a super yacht, which needs a support yacht in order to, I guess,
supply and
to maneuver from the land to the yacht, which that support yacht would also need support boats because that yacht can only go so far in, depending on what port you're in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's just it's a little ridiculous.
So we can just not explain Jeff Bezos.
My point is that after the first Vomit Comet production, it's not like Jeff Bezos is hurting for like money. Like he doesn't need to cut down on production costs for this little venture. He would just do it in the exact same way. It makes no sense to like just shoot it on the ground.
Well, I mean, you also see the woman that's in here with the long brown curly hair.
Mm-hmm. He mentions her in a minute.
Oh, does he? Okay. Well, I'm just saying it would be difficult. I noticed the last time we played it would be, you could harness somebody and have them like fake float in the air. But I mean, do you have like strings harnessed on her curls that are floating in the air so to fake her hair floating?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like a green screen is.
He mentions her hair.
Oh, okay, perfect. I can't wait to hear this.
So they throw in some augmented virtual reality. All right, so the first thing I want to point out is I originally thought this was done in a Vomit Comet. Now after going back and watching, it appears that all these maneuvers are just regular old harness, like high wire trapeze, such as that lady right there. You notice she's not doing any complex flips or anything. She's just being raised up slightly. You could basically just have a few people just yank on a fucking rope and just raise her up slightly.
Like, I don't understand because this is a quote-unquote hypothesis in the moon landing hoax community, I guess, the flat earth community. This whole idea that everything's done with like ropes and like pulleys and stuff. And I just don't understand it because like we can't see anything. I guess he could say that this was like, doctored afterwards so that you don't see anything. Like you don't see Thor, like the wires on Thor or anything like that. So obviously these people could float or could float by the same way. But like, I don't know, like it's not like a smooth pull up. Like when you see people get pulled up, like it's sort of like a smooth sort of movement. Whenever somebody pulls them up, if you'll notice when they're floating or whatnot, it's not all that smooth. Like it looks like they're weightless.
Well, and I mean, she just goes up slightly, but I don't know if you noticed, Jake. She grabs a hold of the window so she doesn't go up further.
Right. She grabs on, and he's about to mention her hair too here in a minute.
The more times I watch this video, the more I realize William Shatner doesn't really do any floating at all. If you look at...
Because he's holding on to shit so that he doesn't lose his lunch.
This scene...
Or break a hip.
Yeah, or break a hip. I would be afraid of breaking a hip if I was 90.
Stares at this other guy who's floating, and it's as if they have a few people off to the side yanking on a rope and then getting this guy to raise slightly, and then William Shatner just stares at that guy while he's not floating at all.
It's really weird because they have what looks like to be at least 3 cameras in it, and they show different angles of these cameras, and there's nobody anywhere that's pulling anything. There's no person for Shatner to be looking at that has a pulley and is pulling somebody up. He's looking at the other people in the capsule, and it kind of looks like everybody's just sort of playing with toys or whatever, and Shatner's sort of turning around like, are you people seeing this shit? And then he looks back out the window. Like, it doesn't look like there's a pulley system going on. I mean, all you're doing is ad hoc speculating about the mechanisms in which they use to fake this shit.
He's just making shit up.
He's just making shit. He's pulling citation fucking needed, Jake.
So let's take a look at my favorite piece of evidence that this whole thing is a bunch of bullshit. Let's look at this lady's hair. Look at it. Just look at it. Hey, how come it's not sticking straight up like all the other women who go to space? Whenever we see examples of women on the International Space Station or over on the other space company SpaceX, the women's hair shoots straight up. But this lady's hair, nope, doesn't do that at all. In fact, you just see one little piece of hair off to the left there just slightly move. It's...
You know, I have an answer for this.
Yeah.
Fucking hairspray.
That's the first thing that I thought of too there, hon.
God
Hairspray.
Damn it.
Which is kind of ironic because I've seen like forum posts and everything like that of people complaining about how flat earthers say that they use hairspray in order to get the hair to stand up.
But they couldn't possibly use hairspray to keep it down.
No. But I mean, that just goes to show that he doesn't consider all the possibilities. Like, oh, well, why isn't her hair floating up? Hairspray is supposed to keep hair in place. It seems like it's keeping the hair in place, doing its fucking job, except for that one little dangly part. That
well, I mean, the bottoms, because I mean, hairspray. Well, not can only do so much, depends on how much you use, right? But like the bottoms would probably not have as, you know, I mean, because she has she's not shellacked,
right?
So I mean, the bottom curls are gonna float a little, but I mean, if she's used, especially if she used fucking Aquanet or some shit, that will stay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the other women, why their hair stands up and doesn't stay down, again, hairspray. Also, I don't
probably not hairspray.
Well, I'm saying like the fact that they don't have hairspray,
right,
is the reason why. But so I mean, not all women wear hairspray, obviously, but also on like the ISS and all these other like places, they can't necessarily bring hairspray onto like the ISS or you know, any of the other ships. So even
if you did, I'm not sure if you sprayed hairspray. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess
there would be no point.
Well, yeah, I don't think it would work the same.
Right. I mean, even the shampoo and all the other like stuff that, that the astronauts use, I mean, it squeezes out of a tube. Like, I mean, it's congealed so that you can like, you know, use it.
Yeah, I mean, even if they, yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's really not a point.
Right.
Slightly fluffs upward. Meanwhile, all the other examples of women in space, their hair goes shooting straight upward. Seems like a major inconsistency that this one lady's hair just happens to stay in place. Oh, except for that one little strand right there. All right,
it's
so
not
here's
just one though. It's not just one. You can see the whole bottom of her hair.
Yeah, her whole hair moves. It just doesn't move in the way that he wants it to move, that matches the other women in space. He doesn't realize that different women have different hair care routines.
Plus, I mean, they're still, I mean, I would say they're still experiencing gravity, but they're in weightlessness at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
So Sirnian asked, why do people keep Hovind relevant? I don't think I keep Hovind relevant. I just want everybody to know exactly how much of a joke he is. And I know that that a lot of people already know, but I feel like more people could know.
Another thing I noticed after watching several times, on the landing, we see this first shot where there's 3 parachutes, and then they skip to another shot where there's only 2 parachutes. So apparently one of the parachutes...
You can, like, hold on. So here's a shot at an angle to where you can see all 3 of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
they skip to another shot where there's...
When he says they skip to another shot, you can still see that there's 3 like ropes or whatever that they got for the parachutes. There's still 3 of them.
Only 2 parachutes.
But I mean, even right here, you can see like, oh shit, you got, fuck me.
John.
Huh.
It's perspective. Flat earthers don't understand perspective.
Right.
So you can't expect him to understand perspective here. You can't see it because it's fucking behind the other one, dumbass.
Right. The perspective here it hides one of them, but you can still see the faint outline of it right there, which maybe you guys can't see it. Hold on, let me bring it to the front here and enlarge, enhance. I don't know if you guys can see it right there, just past the one on the right.
Mm-hmm.
You see the it poking out.
Yeah, you can see it a little.
Which I need to reset my transform here. And so and I mean, if we go back a little bit from the angle at which they are, you can see one of the parachutes is like right on the other side of the one in front. And so just changing the perspective a little bit, that one would be completely hidden. So it's not that there's a mysterious disappearing parachute. It's just a change of perspective. And
no, the more logical explanation would be the mysteriously disappearing parachute.
Yeah, obviously. That's the more plausible one right there.
I rolled my eyes. You couldn't see it.
So apparently one of the parachutes left the screen and is nowhere to be seen. So then it slams into the ground and you see this big dust plume. Now they're saying that when this thing slams into the ground, that it had air thrusters and it thrusted some air just as it was hitting the ground to soften the blow. So it was like they landed on a nice pillowy cushion of air. That's the official scientific quote unquote explanation.
Well, that's how it's designed. There are design documents for the capsule. And I mean, this is just how it's designed. It's not that this is the official like story for it or anything like that. That's just how it operates. I like how he takes how something operates and turns it into some kind of like Hollywood story.
Yeah.
Like a PR story.
That they shot.
Ridiculous. He's a ridiculous person.
Some air out of the thrusters just before they slammed into the ground. So let's go ahead and suppose that that bullshit is true. We still see a giant massive dust cloud. And then when you cut to the scene where Bezos and William Shatner are talking to each other, we see the penis head capsule has no dust on it. That thing should still be covered in dust.
I mean, I don't know if it should still be covered in dust. When it blew the dust out and the air blew it out, I mean, it blew it away from it. And I mean, even if some of it did come back onto it, I'm not exactly sure why the dust would stick to it. I don't understand why he thinks that it should be dusty like a truck that's been driven through the desert for a month.
Well, I mean, I'd imagine if you walked up to that and had a white glove on and, you know, wiped the side, you'd probably have some dust on your glove. Like, you just can't I mean, do you expect it to be completely brown as if it's slathered in mud?
I mean, I feel like he thinks that it should be caked.
That's very weird. It's dry.
Right. And I mean, I think that you'd be hard pressed, like even if you were there, like seeing it firsthand, you would probably notice dust on it and whatnot. But like on a camera from like 10 feet away or something like that, unless the dust was heavy on it, I really don't think that you would notice it.
It's just ridiculous. He's just making shit up because he doesn't have anything fucking useful to say.
True story.
Now people will say, oh, the dust settled. Yeah, if dust settles upon the penis head capsule, it should have a nice layer of dust all over it. All those little crevices, and on top of it, we should see a nice layer of dust. Those windows should be dusted up. They shouldn't be completely clean.
You cannot tell that they're completely clean. Also, this is the reason why I think that he thinks that it should just be caked on there. He thinks that there should be a nice layer of dust on there.
But why? Why does he think that?
He's a dumbass.
The only way that capsule should be that clean is if a cleaning crew showed up, washed it, and dried it. That's the only way it should be that clean.
I wish he'd just walk right up there and fucking lick it. See how clean it is. Asshole.
Well, also, like, if somebody came up and washed it, like, I don't know how he means washed it, but let's just assume that before they were allowed to get out, a cleaning crew did come by and cleaned up the capsule.
They could have just used microfiber cloths.
Whatever. Let's just say they did that. That doesn't invalidate the fact that they went to space, very low orbit, or I guess technically high orbit, maybe. It's right there close to the ISS like level, but let's just say that they, you know, that it was cleaned. They still went up into space and then came back down. To me, it doesn't really matter if a whole crew of professional car washers came through there, cleaned it,
goddamn pressure washer,
detailed it, pressure washed it, and everything. It really doesn't matter to me because they still went to the edge of space.
They didn't, because it's not dust covered.
Obviously.
Also, does anyone see a crater where they're standing?
What? Why would there be a crater? It didn't impact. It just blew dust around. Why would there be a fucking crater?
Because
does anyone...
The way that he characterizes it, and you heard him do it, he says it slammed into the ground. And he doesn't just say like it slammed into the ground. He like really emphasizes so that people really think. And so he has convinced himself that this thing just slammed into the ground. If it had, there would be an impact. I mean, crater, I don't know, like depending on how hard it hit. But if it hit hard enough to make a crater, the people inside probably wouldn't be alive. But because you had the parachutes and you have the thrusters underneath that soften the landing, you're not going to have that.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, that's what I meant. You know, I'm so glad that we've had so many good super chats tonight, because this show's already been limited to no ads.
What? It's not even over.
I know.
Is it because I called him a dumbass so many times?
No, that's not it. It's probably the title or the fact that it's flat Earth. They don't really like the flat Earth stuff anymore.
I don't blame him. I don't like it either.
But anyways, it just amazes me that he's like, why isn't there a crater? Because they didn't slam into the Earth like a fucking comet.
See a big blast crater from where those thrusters shot up all that dust?
What? I'm sorry.
You need more alcohol? Oh. I didn't bring that up here.
No, it's been up here for a while. It's whiskey. Oh, can you smell the pumpkin spice? Jester, just say Jester. Okay, Jester. The vegetation acts just like it would if it was used to dust storms.
It would honestly, there's probably more of an impact with some of the dust storms that happen.
Yeah.
Than it would have been from that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it just amazes me how he thinks that these are like I guess maybe high pressure air jets that are like gonna cut into the earth or something like that.
I mean, it's like when there's like how a helicopter pushes air down. I mean, like it's really and blows like a helicopter when you turn it on and you're in the desert. Dust blows fucking everywhere, but it's really not that much. I mean, it's not that much. It just looks dramatic,
right? It's
so,
just,
but it does. I mean, it doesn't dent the fucking ground,
right?
This guy's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's as if they had a dirt crew come fill in the crater.
They had a dirt crew come in and fill the crater.
They were doing that while the cleaning crews came in and pressure washed the capsule.
Yeah, they got like a hand crank for like a car jack.
Mm-hmm.
They just jacked that sumbitch up,
packed dirt under.
Yeah, packed dirt under it, and then let it down. It's like, you're good to go there, Shatty.
But you know what they didn't have to do when they landed?
Huh?
Fix her hair because she used Aquanet.
That shit stays when you Aquanet it.
Mm-hmm. Jesus said there might be a little bit of a crater, but we wouldn't know because they're still fucking sitting on it.
Maybe, but I mean, it hit. So, the force in which it hit the earth wouldn't have really created that much of an impact.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah.
And it looks like all of the sagebrush bushes in the background are fully intact, so that big blast of all that air thrusting didn't damage any of those old, dry, crinkly bushes at all.
How do you know how old the fucking bushes are?
So basically, he thinks that when the tip of the penis ass blasts the ground, it should just blow all of the vegetation away.
Like a tornado.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how, like, because it was a powerful, like, air that came out to reduce, to the reverse thrusters obviously were powerful, but, I mean, it's not like it was enough to, like, blow weeds out of the ground.
It wasn't a goddamn monsoon, for fuck's sake.
That's what, yeah, that's exactly what the reverse thrusters on these ships should be called. Ass blasters.
I agree.
Yeah, no blast crater, no dust on the penis head capsule, all the bushes are still intact in the area. Sure, makes perfect sense.
I'm guessing that what he's trying to say here is that that the capsule that landed is different than the one that they show people getting out of.
Maybe I should go as a whale penis this year. I hear
you
they're
should,
huge.
motherfucker. They are. But I think that he's saying that the capsule that landed is different than the one that they're getting out of. So, like, basically that this is a stage setup where, you know, this is where they were recording it the entire time.
But also, how does he know that all of the bushes and weeds and shit are intact everywhere? You can't see all of them. You can see some, but like there might be some that got fucked up. I mean, we don't know.
Well, I mean, he's very visual, obviously. So it basically he could see plants. Therefore, it didn't really occur.
Did he think that this was just going to blow all of the plants within a fucking mile off the face of the planet?
Yes.
Why would one think that?
He's a dumbass.
Ugh.
We got Mr. Shigura, who says, if a leaf blower blows leaves with air, why isn't it covered in leaves? Checkmate, Globers!
It's a fair question.
Oh, hey, where's the parachutes? You know, all those big giant parachutes, where are they?
I mean, we're getting a very myopic shot of like Shatner getting out, and then a myopic shot from the front of them talking to people. Like, we saw it land, and the parachutes landed with them, but let's just suppose that a crew came by to make it like on camera presentable in the area. No parachutes.
The dirt crew, and the cleaning crew and the shoot crew.
Right. Eric Hamian sending in a super chat. Thank you so much there, Eric. But even so, none of that detracts from the fact that they went to space and came back.
Plus, did you see how long the chute cords were?
Yeah.
Like, long. The chute is probably still on the ground, like
behind it.
Like, those were very long.
Yeah.
Like a ways away.
I'm guessing that he thinks that the chute should be all around them. Like it should be close to it.
I mean, I guess it could, but like, here's the deal, buddy. If the chutes had come down right on top of the fucking capsule, they would have moved them so they could get the fuck out. Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know why this matters. I'm sure they're there somewhere.
You know, it honestly, when I first saw like the capsule landing on the ground and everything like that, it did strike me as odd. Because normally in this kind of situation where they have the pod that goes up and then it comes back down, they have it land in water. But I mean, I'm really glad that they developed a system where they could land on land, because now you don't have to land in water. You can land on land.
I look and I don't see them in any of the shots. I don't see any wires hanging around. You know, the capsule had wires that were attached to big giant chutes, and then we don't see any of that stuff. So basically, a cleaning crew came in, cleaned up all the parachutes, cleaned off the penis head capsule, dried it off, and then they shot the final scene. Makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense.
But even if that was true, So,
yeah, exactly. That's my point. Even if they did all of that, it still does not detract from the fact that they went to fucking space. And when they were in the capsule, you could definitely tell that the Earth was a sphere. You don't need to go out past the, crap. I forgot what the zone is called of immense radiation. My flat Earth knowledge is escaping me right now. They don't need to go far enough out to where they can see the entire sphere of the Earth. They really just needed to go as far as they did. Anyways, shit, hold on. That just went to the next video. Main camera. There we go. All right. Well, that's going to be it for the show tonight. I hope you guys did learn something.
What?
I mean, there are some things that I brought up that, you know, maybe some people didn't know. Like the fact that the New Shepard rocket is named after Alan Shepard, or about how the capsule landing in the desert works. If you also didn't know, but the Blue Origin New Shepard capsule is, or not capsule, but rocket engine is one of the ones that returns and refuels and then can go back up into space. So they not only had the capsule land, but they also had the booster land as well. And that's actually
trick or treat, motherfuckers.
Jester says going to space sounds easier than all this shite. Yes, it is. Space is a lot easier to just go to than to have this giant conspiracy where you have green screens, where you have sound stages, where you have a fake capsule landing in a desert, where you have multiple different crews that come in and make it presentable. Like, all of this shit is way more complicated than just fucking going up into space.
I mean, the only reason it's more complicated than going up into space is because we figured out how to go up into space. Getting to space was way more complicated than all of those things.
Cernian used his milestone super chat to say this guy is a blithering idiot. He seems like a Poe. So obviously I could never know for 100% certain that he's a Poe, but I do know somebody that knows Jake. And I actually tried to get him to have a conversation with me, like about flat earth stuff, but he refused because he, in his own words, said that I was an idiot.
It's definitely you.
I'm perfectly fine with a flat earther considering me an idiot. I'm totally fine with that. But the point is that this friend said that he definitely believes in everything that he says. He's a total conspiracy theorist, and nothing that the guy has tried has convinced him otherwise. And so for everything that anybody that can know about Jake, he's a total 100% believer in this shit.
That's sad.
Yeah. Now, just take that for what you will. It's secondhand information, or I guess maybe third-hand information, if you will. So it's just like I heard from a friend of Jake's that he literally believes everything, but that's only because Jake himself won't talk to me because
you're an idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Right. So anyways, the Van Allen belt. That's right. Thank you so much, Dave Lee. Totally escaped me for a second. The Van Allen belt. Because the capsule, I'm guessing now, the capsule isn't designed to go that far into space because there is radiation that you need to worry about and other things in space that you also have to guard for whenever you're thinking about sending people past like the Van Allen radiation belt. Yeah, that's the one that I was thinking of. Thank you so much. Anyways, tonight was fun. Bit of a different thing.
Was it?
Yeah, a little bit, I think. But anyways, we do need to get to the member comments.
I'm checking the held for review.
Okay.
There aren't any.
Yeah,
I mean, not for members.
I really wish YouTube wouldn't hold them. Hold the member comments.
Well, I think they do it on some things. Like if they put a period and then forget to put a space, they think they've put some, you know what I mean? Like they're caught up for some kind of random accidental reason.
Okay. All right, here we go. Skeptic Mafia comments.
Did you do your ending thing?
Oh shit, no it didn't.
Yeah.
Hold on. We're about to go into the Skeptic Mafia comments, but before we do, I would really love to know what you guys think about Jake's video here. Do you think that he has some decent points, or do you think he's a dumb fucking idiot like we all do right now? Let us know down below in the comments. And hey, while you're down there, why don't you smash that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed and you like dumb shit like this. But hey, regardless of all that, don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens. But don't go, because we got the Skeptic Mafia comments. All right, so first up, we've got Vanta Blue over here saying there's a comment under the video, by the way. Oh, okay. But this guy just makes me want to slap him or facepalm or just walk away while muttering about the stupidity of man.
Yeah, the latter one is me.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore. I'll just fake leave it.
You could fuck off of it in a giant dick plane.
Yeah.
Dick rocket.
Dick rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Beehole, what you have just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may Godless Engineer have mercy on your soulless mass. No mercy for you! Now on to something worth your time. Join the Skeptic Mafia and listen to Casey flip the temple tables every time she understands Christianity better than the Pharisees and Sadducees who proclaim to be the prophets of the Most High Stoner or something on the Godless podcast.
I'm so glad that some people really watch and like the Bible podcast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got a pretty decent following. People like listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up is Michael W. Roble, who says this guy is either a Dunning-Kruger Gold Star student or a really, really bad troll. As I watched, I couldn't decide if it was stupidity or incompetence or possibly a poorly executed bad joke. I thought about it for just a moment and decided to cheap rip off minimum headroom here. It didn't deserve any further consideration. Thank you, Michael. Next is Gary White, who says, I hope that you use the force with these videos and sounds like an interesting time. Can't wait to watch the stream tonight. Well, I do believe Gary was one of the ones that burned a witch earlier, so thank you so much, Gary, for being here.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Next is Command Cyborg, who says, hello, world! Yep, that was some dumb feckery. I'll try to be short and sweet, or at least sweet. A question on a topic you don't seem to have a good grasp on. What the ankh is the normal shape of a rocket? It's phallic, you Nimrod.
Yep.
Vomit Comet isn't shaped like that. The windows are way smaller and they won't go that high. Duh. Well, I think the implication there was not so much that they were just in the Vomit Comet, and that's what they were doing. I think the implication is that the Vomit Comet was somehow big enough to fit the capsule in there, and then they affixed the capsule to the floor, and then when they did the parabolic maneuvers, the capsule was moving with the plane, and the astronauts inside were not.
I get what you're saying. And then so what did they do? Like green screen the outside the capsule, but inside the Vomit Comet, so that
Right.
they could project the Earth.
Right.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out how he was saying that would work. I get it now.
Yeah.
It's dumb still.
I suppose you don't know how gravity works. They routinely deny that gravity even exists. And that space debris looks like a crinkled paper or such. Inside the capsule, eyes on the ball, knobhead. The point of view obscures the third parachute. Also, when you know to look for it, the dust clearly starts to cloud up before the thing touches ground. I think I'm done here. Perhaps I did better with the short than the sweet part. Smash all the buttons, ring-a-ling-a-ding, rama-lama-bing-bong. There are perks like the whale peen, so consider that. If you join the club, you also get to vote for what the show is about, only you never quite anticipated exactly what or how dumb it's going to be, so just like in real-life politics. That's all, folks. Thank you and good night. Transmission terminated. Thank you so much there, Command Cyborg. Next is Jonathan Nickel. This conspiracy theorist speaks through an animated avatar, although the cheeks he is speaking through should be lower down. And where is the tinfoil hat? He shows off Shatner going into space, and he claims that it's fake. Only a flat earther can be that dense. This is just after he talked about Shatner being a fake astronaut, fake dinosaurs, even fake Earth. If Earth is fake, where exactly is he standing or sitting whilst he films his little clip? Also, just because he starred as the captain of a starship traveling through space on a TV series, that doesn't make him a fake astronaut. To make that claim, he would need to show us a clip in which Shatner claimed that the Starship Enterprise was real. No, it is not the Vomit Comet, but it doesn't need to be. I suspect that much of the vomiting comes from people sick of listening to all the nonsense spewed from this ridiculous flurfer. He actually expects that they should see the entirety of the planet's surface.
Maybe I should go as a whale penis this year. I hear they're huge.
Maybe they would if they traveled far enough but not from that height. Flat earthers have no sense of perspective. Augmented VR? It looks like someone had an open packet of crisps and let one go. Does look like a potato chip, but you can see in the other parts of the footage where people are playing with these toys, one of them looks about the same shape and size as that. So I think it was a figurine, but who knows? Well, the astronauts would know. That's who would know. The only thing that pleased me with this presentation was that after around 8 minutes, his T-shift claimed he didn't have T-shirt claimed he didn't have COVID. However, considering his tenuous grip on reality was, on how tenuous his grip on reality was, and the amount of conspiracy nonsense he came out with, I'm not sure I can believe him. Having seen how much this guy shat on Shatner, I'll leave it there. It was a long video, and no doubt it will be late by the time you read this. Unlike this beehole guy, I show some consideration towards other people. Thank you so much. Now we got sorry, Jonathan.
I'm so sorry. That was an accident. That was my no button.
Thanks, Jonathan Nickel. Alex Baranowski says, "Oh Jesus, cock goblin Christ! This video is sensory overload. It's both a visual overload, which I rarely, if ever, get, and an auditory overload. I had to listen to it on a super low volume and not have the video tab selected. I didn't do any post-processing on his audio to like change the levels or anything. That was just straight his audio. What I normally do is I try to normalize the audio a little bit and have all the levels at a nice listening volume. So yeah, that a lot of people don't do that, but I put in the extra. Otherwise, huh?
That's sweet.
Oh yeah. Otherwise, this video was entertaining. I do have to ask, why does anyone really care that much about what some rich old white dudes did on their free time? Who really gives two shits if someone buys a rocket and visits space? Why does this have to turn into a conspiracy theory? I've got to about the 4-minute mark and was like, nope, no more of this. What I want to do more of is Skeptic Mafia members. For a few dollars every month, you can be part of our GE cult where we get exclusive content and the ability to comment on the videos for the Friday streams. Normally, we also have a podcast that we do specifically for Skeptic Mafia members. This week, it got a little hectic and we weren't able to get one recorded, but we will have one for y'all next week. Thank you so much there, Alex. Next is Jason Kolosik, who says, really? The Mafia chose the blue dildo? I'm snitching, turning in state's evidence. Maybe I can catch a ride in the chair worn by Captain's Log. Kirk, think of the flurfs, don't be cruel. And Jonathan Hanachak, who says, I can't wait for all the yelling and screaming and how stupid this shit was. Now, to smash my head into the wall a few more times, I headed to work to get this stupid nonsense out. GE, can you say in a cartoon voice, respect my authority? I think that was pretty good. Of course, if you wanted Brosifus, it would be, hey, respect my authority, okay? 2 Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up. Respect my authority. Now.
I paid the mortgage.
Hey, you got a point. Please and thank you. That chilling here for Podcast Mafiosos and anything else you can think of. Oh, that shilling here for Podcast Mafiosos and anything else you can think of. Please, everybody, have a good night. Remember to wash your damn hands. Sean J says, sorry if it's a bit long. While he is right that the blue origin is more akin to the vomit comet since the spacecraft goes up to an altitude and starts falling for several minutes, providing weightlessness, the difference is the sustained window of weightlessness on blue origin. It is a continuous block of time that far exceeds what any plane would do. Obviously, this is a shortened experience from SpaceX's recent 3 days in orbit, which is just on a different level and altitude. Evidently, this individual has never been moved to tears by some event in his life. He acts like it's unmanly to do so. This mindset needs to go away. I couldn't agree more there, Sean. Let's address his hair evidence. The reason people with hair on extended microgravity have hair that expands outward is due to a cumulative effect, meaning objects in motion continue in motion, and gravity is no longer exerting an independent force to pull the hair down, so it floats up. This is especially true when you have someone doing large movements in free fall, and the woman in blue origin floated up and performed a spin, or was able to move around more. Her hair would extend out and away from that movement. Simple physics. Well, there's that and hairspray. I don't know. It seemed like hairspray to me, but I think that that particular that particular explanation could also work. But in any case, it definitely it definitely wasn't because they were on a sound stage and having shit pulled by levers. I can tell you that a blast of air would kick up dust away from the capsule and thus wouldn't settle onto it without winds to alter their imparted trajectory. Again, physics. Having spent many quote-unquote fun nights in the New Mexico desert as part of a Patriot unit outside Fort Bliss, those sagebrush would not be affected. It was just incredulity the entire. Couldn't agree more there, Sean. Next is Urban Imposter. This waste of organic matter? So what the rocket cargo people fairing looks like? Multiple rockets have a fairing portion that is slightly larger in diameter than the rest of the rocket. Falcon 9 Starliner, if it ever gets off the ground, and any player-built rocket in KSP, well, that's the Kerbal Space Program. I think it's player-built rocket in a game. Will probably have a fairing that is larger than the rocket body, that will look like a dong. Something about, I don't know, aerodynamics maybe. So dicks are aerodynamic, is what you're trying to say. Interesting. And to you directly, Jack. You're already an arse clown. You don't need that stupid filter. To the rest of you, do a barrel roll or something. Thank you. Thank you there, Urban Imposter. Uhan Roderick says, nope. I don't even know where to begin with Mr. Smug Beehole. I will point out he seems to really like penis head capsules. Just saying. Y'all know what to do. That would be become a mafia member. Send a super chat. Do some shit. And then Nikki says, this guy is such a condescending fucking jackass. I want to punch him in the mouth. I mean, I kind of got that feeling too when he started making fun of Shatner getting emotional. Because there's no reason to, let me get back to the main. There's no reason to denigrate somebody for showing emotion. Especially men. I think that it's an archaic thing that definitely needs to go away. Like I think somebody else pointed that out. I think it was Sean J. I think that it's a very archaic thing that definitely needs to go away, and that him doing that just shows how cold of a person he is. And honestly, I don't have a need for somebody like that in my life. So I'm glad that I didn't talk to him, because that would be hours or an hour or so that I just couldn't get back. It would be wasted. So I'm glad I didn't waste that time. Anyways, that's gonna be it for our show tonight. We went a little extra long, just over 2 hours. I'm so glad. See, I think Farewell is being held for review and comments. I don't know why. Yeah. Let's see. I didn't. I'm just double checking the review. Yeah, there's nothing held in review. I guess it would amount to triple checking, is what I just did. So there's nothing held in review. Teo Software says, because whale pain. Yeah, I don't know why Farewell would be held in comments. Oh, I think I think that maybe it's just that it holds back some comments for random reasons. I don't even know why. Yeah. Yeah, yours wasn't held there, Alex. And then we got Hellbound Hillary says, so I can get away with all 7 words on George's list, but I can't use one of our own custom emojis. Anyways, I do need to get going. It was great talking with everybody tonight. Great to see everybody. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Oh, Alex did a super chat. Sorry, I don't want to get away before I say Alex. Alex says, heads up, my comment might have gotten filtered because I used a few curse words. Yeah. Yeah, it was fine. So anyways, so awesome to have everybody here tonight. You guys are awesome in general. And I guess we'll see you heathens next week. I do want to remind everybody next Saturday night at 6:30 p.m. Central, we've got Captain Dadpool moderating the debate between Dr. Richard Carrier and Father James Gadd on the best method to historically interpret the Gospels. So if you guys want to join us here for that, you can. We'd much appreciate it. I'm going to try to get it set up somewhat soon on the channel as far as a live thing goes, so you guys can bookmark it and everything like that. But we've got that next Saturday night, and let's see. Next week, I'm probably going to have a response to an anti-evolution video by an Islamic channel. And then later on in the week, I haven't picked out something yet, but I'm sure it'll be something interesting. But anyways, heathens, I hope that you guys have a great rest of the night, a great weekend, and I will see y'all on Monday. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens. Shit. No, I gotta do the end cards.